Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Carnivores Anonymous online meeting. My name is Lisa Levinson, and I'm your host for this meeting. And this is a program of In Defense of Animals. And we share this program to help people adopt a vegan lifestyle, to provide support and resources and some inspiration. And that's what we're going to be doing today. We'll have a featured speaker who will share his vegan journey with you to inspire and enlighten and encourage everyone to try going vegan and see how it goes. So I'd like to share a little bit more about our special guest today. And it's my honor to introduce you officially to Jeremy Patterson, and he is a Command Food Service Advisor for the U.S. Army. He is also an active animal rights activist in his community, as well as on social media as the owner-operator of the Facebook page Vegan Army. Jeremy has followed a lifestyle for many years, a vegan lifestyle, and believes we should learn to love all and not some. He planned and organized the first plant-based friendly dining facility within all U.S. military services, which is currently being ran at the Guns and Rockets dining facility in Fort Sill, Oklahoma. His long-term goal for the military is to change military regulations to ensure vegan options are available for all military members during all scenarios, field or garrison. Jeremy, who is a 17-year Army Food Service veteran, has worked over 20 years in the food industry in total. His experience as a chef warrant officer make him a subject matter expert in all things food related. Jeremy's 8+ years of learning and living the vegan lifestyle validate his life commitment towards helping our society become more vegan-minded. His volunteer work consists of leafleting with vegan outreach and messaging with Oklahoma's largest vegan outreach group, which is called the Red Earth Vegans of Central Oklahoma. His Facebook page, Vegan Army, is very active with many military and non-military members. Jeremy holds an associate's degree in business management from Grantham University. So it's my pleasure to introduce everyone to Jeremy, who actually goes by J. Pat. Hi, Jay. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you very
Yay.
much.
Oh, I am so glad to hear that. It's wonderful to have you on our program tonight, and I'm sure people will be very eager to hear your vegan story. So would you like to share it with us?
Well, thank you. Yes, outstanding, and really appreciate you with this bio that you read about me. By all means, that's a snippet of a lot of what's going on in my life, and I just like to say thank you for this opportunity. I'm very passionate about what I do at work, in the streets for veganism. I mean, by all means, please let me explain that to everyone out there. I wasn't born vegan. By all means, wasn't born vegan, but I tell you that this is the best thing that I've done in my entire life is be vegan, spread the word of veganism. And really, when I look at, the role model that I'm playing for my daughter, the role model that I'm playing for my brother and sister left and right in arms, or just anybody walking down the street, it is we do not have to be that person, that one that is treating animals like victims. They're victims. So I just wanted to explain that up front and then really go into, what is a command food service advisor? I'll explain that. So my role and job inside of the Army is to explain to a commander how to feed thousands of his soldiers or her soldiers 24 hours a day, 365 days out of the year. That is my role. So when I had somebody come up to me in the past and explain to me that they were pescatarian, but they wanted in their pescatarian walk in life to have plant-based options. I understood what this was because of the background that I have in what I do. and how I'm happy with being vegan, I said, aha, here's an opportunity for me to try to provide for somebody that doesn't, that they're not getting the vegan meal or the plant-based meal in an army dining facility. So there it is. My job allowed me to help somebody in a way that maybe someone else wouldn't be able to. Um, a little feedback and background on that is this. When I ask a large number of soldiers what it is to eat vegan, what it means to have a plate in front of you and make it vegan, a large majority of them did not have the answer to that. Okay, they didn't understand that some butter actually has dairy in it and a vegan is not going to eat that. So a lot of teaching, coaching, and mentoring had to take place to make this happen for this one soldier, but I didn't stop there. As you mentioned, Lisa, absolutely. This dining facility has been coined, the Guns and Rockets dining facility, as the first plant-based friendly dining facility in all military. And we say friendly because it's like this. When you go to a friendly, vegan-friendly place, well, they're going to label their items vegan. There might be next to animal-based products, but we are providing options for those people who come in and can see what is vegan and what is not, and then it gives the person, the customer, the option to choose these things. So when I understood that like Whole Foods does that, I appreciate it as a vegan when I go in there. So I wanted to emulate that and just give options to these soldiers that come in there to say, I do eat a vegan diet. How can I here in this place if you're not labeling it? So a lot of testing and tuning with what we did inside of this dining facility. And right now we're at a point where if we bring in a new source of tortillas, we check to see if those tortillas, first off, can we get a tortilla that's vegan or plant-based? Okay, if we can, then we're going to label it for the customer when they come in there that it's plant-based. And I like to use the term 100% plant-based when I'm labeling things in this dining facility. I don't really want to call it vegan, okay, because I understand how it is. The world looks at me when I'm walking down the street and I got a leaflet in my hand as here comes a vegan towards me that wants to teach me about and force their views down my throat. Okay, I got it. Well, guess what? In a dining facility, I'm going to be more of this person that's looking to say, I have something that is 100% plant-based. Well, what does that mean? Well, it means that it doesn't have any cholesterol in it, okay? It means that it's lower in saturated fats. It means that it's healthier for you soldiers. So I take that route on a professional level with them. Professionally, this product, okay, statistically is healthier than possibly this product over here. So I do that, and I'm really, really pleased with what I see going on in this dining facility. What I see going on in this dining facility is we got customers that were not eating vegetables in the past, who now see an enchilada that's vegetarian, a plant-based enchilada that has quinoa in it, black beans, all different types of vegetables. They weren't going to eat it before, but the colors are just in their face now. And they love it. They see it. It looks good. It tastes good. And they're more apt to come back the next time when they eat, and pick the broccoli, okay, the squash, the plant-based entree, and not the pork item that they were putting on their plate before, because they're being filled up by this, all of this right here. So I'm elated at what's going on here. And to be honest with you, what more do we want but to teach people what is veganism about? Okay, how can we get these baby steps in for people to understand that, the guy, me, walking down the street with a leaflet, I'm trying to help the world, the environment, society, my brother and sister left and right of me. I'm trying to help all of those by understanding facts that you might not have heard before. And, I tell you, as you mentioned, Lisa, absolutely. Any chance I get, I've got a vegan outreach pamphlet when I'm going, and it's in my car. It's in the back pamphlet book of my motorcycle. And I'm looking for opportunities to share the vegan lifestyle, to share my story with somebody, because, like I said, I wasn't always vegan. Okay, it took, reading books. It took looking on YouTube and seeing what's veganism about. Why be vegan? And it takes vegans like myself and others out there that are doing a tremendous job that we see to talk about it. When somebody's in work right now, this is what I always love, is I love for somebody while I'm at work to explain what they were eating last night that happened to be not vegan. Okay, and okay, so you were eating baby back ribs. So let's talk about what baby back ribs actually are. And then when I get into explaining to them what these things are, it's a baby pig, or it's veal is a baby cow, and explain that these animals had emotions and feelings, and they love, just like I love my daughter, just like I love many animals. We all can be understanding that it's knowledge that you might not have had in the past is what you're vacant of. And I would like to share this one story. This morning, an elderly Puerto Rican lady that works in the dining facility. She says she's 61 years old, and she says, "I heard that you're vegetarian." And I'm listening to her, and someone else chimed in, and this was great. She said, "No, he's vegan." And I was just so happy that happened. And I said, "Yes, she's correct. I'm vegan." So do you understand what vegan is? Well, you don't eat meat. And I asked her, I said, "Can you ask your boss for 5 minutes so we can go talk?" And okay, we did. And I gave her two pamphlets from Vegan Outreach. And whenever I gave her these two pamphlets for Vegan Outreach, what happened is we had a conversation. And during that conversation, she explained that really she knew that she didn't need meat in her diet, yeah, but she didn't understand kind of like what I was doing, and how I started and why I'm even doing it. So we had a great conversation about this, and I loved it. I hugged her afterwards, and I was like, thank you for approaching me. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk about this. But I'd like to say this. If it wasn't for me explaining to people on an everyday walk and talk that I'm vegan and being proud of what I am and veganism, then that moment might not have happened. So I was really, really happy that happened. I would also like to say that, it doesn't stop there. Currently, right now, and I won't say this gentleman's name, there's somebody that for the whole month of June, him and his whole family are now trying a plant-based diet. Okay, I would like to take all the credit for it. No, I don't want to take the credit for it. But I would like to say this. I'm very happy that happened. Okay, for the animals, for the environment, and for everything. Because I'm telling you, I believe that talking and walking the path of veganism is nothing but greatness for our earth and for our children in the future. And we can't do it alone. We need this community that we have, and I'm very happy that it's out there. The vegan community is by far the best community I've ever been a part of. And, I found that becoming vegan for me was quite easy. It was quite easy. My wife, she's been veg since she was like 6 years old. When I met her, at the 20 years old, I'm like, okay, so you're vegetarian. So that means you don't eat meat. And I kind of understood, and I lived with her. But it was for animals that she explained. But she never was this person that pounded on me that says, don't do this and don't do that. So I learned for myself by watching some of these documentaries on, whoa, that is what I've been taught. Well, that's not right. That's not true. And I'm learning and I'm reconditioning my brain to understand that the truths are out there in books. Okay, the truths are out there in scientific studies. They are out there, but what we're not being brought forward to us in the general public is these truths, unless it becomes from a vegan doctor, Kim Williams, or Milton Mills, or an activist. So what we see is we're being stifled by all this information that we should be honing in on. We should be teaching our kids. We should be teaching our brothers and sisters, our uncles that has heart disease. Okay, the number one killer in America. And what we say is, hey, folks, the second and third order effects of me loving animals means that my heart is healthier. And I appreciate it. I've went and I did the blood work, and I really understand what my blood looks like. And when the doctor tells me that your blood looks really, really good, whatever diet you're on right now, you need to continue, I was happy and excited and wanted to share with many people. And wow, it's the second and third order effects, like I said, of loving animals. And as my job, you know, food service. Been in the food service industry since, a young teenager. And I know different recipes, how to do this. I've done it all. Well, a lot. Um, some things I'm not proud of. Some things that I had to do, that I felt that I had to do at the time that I probably won't do now is, killing animals. Killing animals for many soldiers to eat this animal. Um, it's probably one of the disheartening things that I've ever, think I've ever done in my life. And now I see that there's alternatives. And sharing these alternatives with others. As I go into the dining facility or, picnics here and there, I'm teaching people how to make seitan, and it's really great stuff. When you can mock using vital wheat gluten and make a lumpia. I'm like, wow, this tastes like the same thing. Absolutely, it does. And I just really say that if we get people involved with sharing their great cooking skills, and putting together these items and share them at work, go to your luncheon and bring these items to work, people will gravitate towards, oh, so I can still have chicken nuggets, not chicken nuggets. And it's 2019. The industry has really blossomed, and I'm very happy because, like I said, I've been living with my wife for a long time. We went vegan together over time. I was vegetarian for a little bit, and then I went vegan with her after she found out, and she told me about the dairy industry, and we're like, whoa, we're not eating cheese anymore. But what I would like to say is, so I understood kind of like how to cook vegan, vegetarian for a while now. And for others, I know they understand. They think that it's harder, but look, we open up a cookbook, or we say we're still having Taco Tuesdays, but just put lentils instead of ground up cow flesh. We're gonna put in Beyond meat crumbles in there instead of the cow, and that's what I really love about veganism. I believe it's easy. I believe it is in 2019. So 20 years ago, when I'm looking in the grocery stores and vegetarian or vegan options, there wasn't many things out there. It just really wasn't. So now I'm excited. I'm excited about all of what's happening. But you know, I would like to say that education, absolutely, it has been the key for my veganism, for my activism. Education has been key. Understanding what JAMA says, understanding what the CDC says. So understanding all these truths that we possibly haven't been taught in the past, and then sharing that with people, definitely is the key. Um, I really, really enjoy understanding how to talk with people, not at them, not to them, talking with them about veganism and following Earthling Ed. And he has a podcast that I really enjoy because he's explaining inside of his podcast, like how to effectively message veganism. And I find it very beneficial to do that. Watch many different things that can influence our positive messaging of veganism. And, you know, at the end of the day, really, ladies and gentlemen, um, I'm just a small piece of the puzzle that I feel that, you know, I want to be used as a tool. So yes, um, I'm a United States Army Food Service warrant officer. Got it. And I understand that when I'm going into work, talking about veganism is much like someone is talking about church or someone's talking about their beliefs. And it's really not a place to talk about it, constantly with someone talking about church. But I do have a firm belief in this. When someone asks me why I'm eating something at my desk or during a walk and talk, there's times where I feel that I can talk about the beliefs that I have. And I'm going to talk very loudly and proudly about that because I want to help others. Now, the professional side, as I spoke about, like the Guns and Rockets donning facility. In this donning facility, we do have a command team that has said we like the fact that we are providing options for soldiers that are looking for healthier options, are looking for options that happen to be 100% plant-based, vegan options. Some people are lactose intolerant. They don't want their corn to be cooked with dairy. So all these things, as we're labeling things 100% plant-based, this is the professional side that I say that keeping it professional and then at least explaining to people why. Why is it that plant-based items are particularly healthier? Well, the whole food plant-based diet has been proven scientifically to reverse a lot of the diseases that's killing us. So at least explain that these items that we're cooking that are 100% plant-based, they are heart healthier. Staying away from the processed meats, which CDC says are cancer causing. So I really, tiptoeing around as far as, keeping it professional and then keeping it, where I'm looking at, okay, now I have an opportunity to at least explain veganism and definitely feel that is just the way to go, to explain to people, hello, this is vegan. So, um, that's my story. I know there's a lot more that I can say about my life and where I've been through my vegan walks and talks. But right now, I just would like to say that, picking opportunities to speak to people about, what they might not know already, that's my forward. That's what I would like to do. And I do have my Vegan Army Facebook page, and definitely like to go up to Oklahoma City and help out there in the animal sanctuary. Oliver and Friends Animal Sanctuary would like to spend more time up there and just be at one with this earth. And the animals are part of this earth. And my phrase that I love to say now to all is this: love all, not some. So, Lisa, I'm not sure if anybody had any questions for you or the group or whatnot, but Hopefully I provided a little bit of insight on me and my life and my story. But I thank you for the opportunity for me to share at least what I'm doing.
Oh, yeah, we are so grateful to you for sharing your very approachable way of inviting people to join you in this vegan journey and to share a bit about how successful you've been at getting uh, plant-based options into the military, which is such a fantastic achievement. So we do have
Thank
some
you.
questions for you. First, I want to just share a comment. And George, who actually is in or has been in the military, he's on with us. So maybe, George, if you want to share any comments, you're welcome to just join us. Those people who are in the actual webinar can tune in by, you can either just unmute yourself and share that way, or if you're on the phone, you can press *4. If you're with us on a Facebook Live, if you're watching from a group, you can type your question right into the feed there, and we'll be sure to ask Jay. So first, George just wants to say that he's all for pushing the Army for serious change for our health and the planet. It's our duty. Obviously, he says, I care about the animals too, but that won't be the persuasion for the DOD. Sorry about that. The DOD. And now so that's a comment from George. And I want to thank the people who are in the meeting with us directly. That's wonderful to have you here. We also had a question from our Facebook Live feed, and that is, what do you do, or have you experienced any kinds of complaints in the dining hall? How do you respond to that?
Um, Good question. So complaints. I would say that there have been zero complaints on being offering an additional item. So we still have to, by regulation, offer every one of the menu standards that is the Army-wide must follow. And I won't get into the particulars of that, but what it does say in our regulation is this. Upon request, you need to provide a vegetarian option for those who want it. And it says, it's more particular on how it says it. So therefore, if someone requests a vegetarian entree, then we should provide that option to them. What I'm doing is, on my team, we found a way that why wait for someone to ask for something? We understand that we are changing right now. The culture is shifting. More and more vegans are out there, and some people don't even say that they're vegan. They don't say they have a plant-based diet. It might be religious. They don't want to come forward and say, oh, by the way, is there pork in that because of the religion and the backlash they might get on it. So I've experienced these things in the military, and especially being a vegan myself. When I come somewhere and I go in to eat and I say, oh, do you have any vegan options? The looks that I get sometimes are things that I don't appreciate. So, knowing that, this is what we've done is let's provide all this great things additionally all the time. And then what we're finding is we're getting nothing but praise from our customers, but no negativity at all. And I'm happy for that.
Wow, so it sounds very inclusive that what you've done is actually created an environment where all people can get their needs met.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely, Lisa.
That is great. So some people on the Facebook Live are saying that these are great steps that you've taken. They're really honoring what you've done. And let's see if there's any other questions for you. And so I'm wondering, as you share your journey with us, what are your visions? What do you see happening now that you've put together this dining hall with
Yeah.
plant-based options? What do you see going forward?
Okay. Well, let me share this. A video that was put on Facebook by another dining facility it's not in our area. It was shared to me. And that video, at the very end of it, it stated that we're going to start providing options, plant-based options and vegan options in the near future. So I looked at that. I engaged the person who put this video up, and they says, yes, we've been seeing the great work that y'all have been doing on Fort Sill, and we have questions that we're going to get. We want your SOPs. We want your menus. And I'll go further. We had an Air Force unit come to our dining facility, and they took a drive up a couple hours, and they saw what we were doing so they can implement it in their dining facility. So this is a sister service. Additionally, I have been contacted by medical providers inside of Army posts, inside of Air Force posts, and what they're saying is, this is great. What we need is, kind of like a layout of everything you're doing, because they want to provide that to their surgeon generals. So what I have is understanding that this is spreading in many different areas and avenues. That's what I would love to see. We don't change the whole line just yet. Of course, I want the world to be vegan. I got it. That's just me. But realistically, what is the military able to do? Well, I'm proving that it can do this. And it can happen in many different places and avenues. And then, because of the supply and demand that we're seeing right now, people are demanding it, so let's supply it. And I cannot share with you how many emails that I've received on, can you share your SOP? So I put it online. It's out there. I've been working right now with the Humane Society, and the Humane Society has over 100 different recipes that are all 100% plant-based, and they've funneled those into what is exactly the format that military uses. So it's called subforhealth.com. And Sub for Health, when you go onto that website, you can click a link and it says DoD recipes. Inside of this, it has hundreds of recipes that you can use inside of military facilities. So we have a network out here that is many people trying to push this along to something that's great.
Wow, that is very exciting to hear about. It really is. And the enthusiasm that people are showing by wanting the details about the meals. Can you share with us just some of the terminology, the Army terminology, so everyone can understand? Two acronyms. One is DOD and one is SOP. What are those?
Absolutely. So a standard operating procedure is the SOP. So a SOP is nothing but a pamphlet or papers that explain standard operating procedures to make a plant-based dining facility work. What menus to use, how to train soldiers, and that's what a SOP is, involving anything in the Army or military. What we make is, what is the standard operating procedure for that? Oh, I've written it up for you. Here it is. And DOD is Department of Defense.
Oh, of
So
course.
anybody, yes, ma'am. Yeah. But
Okay, thank you.
absolutely.
So I'm
Um,
curious just to see if anyone has questions who's with us in the group. Any questions for Jay? Because this is a perfect timing to do that.
Lisa, this is
Yeah.
George, if you're
Oh,
able.
yes, please. Yes, please.
Hey, so, well, first, it sounds like there's a lot internally. My two questions are, what can we do within the military to help promote this change? And I have some ideas, and maybe we can take this offline, of sending people there to be trained, who are like 68 mics. Those are nutrition care specialists. I know we often speak jargon. The second question is, what can those outside of the military do in order to help support this and bring awareness to the vast amount of people that can be reached in the military. The military, I don't speak for the military. Let me just clarify that. But the military, we've found, is at one of the biggest as one of the biggest impacts on climate change right now. So I think it's our duty to influence and change in the areas where we can. And one is in what we're eating. And it's also for our health. The military is they take care of their own health care within the military. And to me, let's pay the cost up front, even though most of us know that it's not more expensive to spend spend the money on the products, on the produce and so forth, versus the very very exorbitant cost of healthcare on as the end result of eating animal products.
George, yes. Hey, I really like the first question, and that's the how. Many of how can we get involved? And it really starts with the individual, I believe. So, whereas that one soldier that came into the dining facility and asked, he put a comment card in, and the comment card, I'll tell you what, it wasn't accepted as something serious. It took me to take that comment card and says, this is a serious question. Can we provide this for this soldier? And to be honest with you, they put a vegetarian burger out for this person when they asked for a vegan option. I looked to see the vegetarian burger and I said, this isn't vegan. Then went forth with the training and okay, now we need to do a whole lot more is what I found. But we start at the individual. And if more individuals would come into the Army dining facilities or any military dining facilities and professionally demand, I wouldn't say ask, I say demand, professionally is this. You start at the lowest levels and we're like, okay, I would like to eat something today. And then my belief says that I only eat these things. And then, okay, someone might say, well, that's asking. I got it. But if it gets to a point where I have to eat something because I'm supposed to be provided this meal, that's where I'm getting at that, okay, either you're going to give this to me, and it's not really an ultimatum, but, I've had somebody tell me this or ask me, so what would I do if the Army says, I'm not going to provide this for you? What would I do? And, I pondered on that question, and they said, well, possibly the best thing for us to do is just X you out of the military. And I had that dilemma sitting in front of me. So it's possible that they would exit me out of the military or provide me for what I am owed. But I mean, I don't really have the answer as far as what the military is going to do. I'm just telling you what we've done in our footprint, and at least I know everybody. There's many people that are following these footprints, but the demand, asking for it, and then really, I mean, getting involved possibly as well with the leadership and showing them why. Some people don't even understand why it would benefit. And I've spoken to medical professionals, and they, in my opinion, they don't really know everything that's going on with a whole food plant-based diet. They just don't know. They still believe in the myths of the protein, vitamin B12. I had a medical doctor that didn't know that vitamin B12 is not just from an animal. It was in the bacteria in the soil, and I explained to them, and they didn't believe me. They didn't, and I was like, okay, please read this and please read that, but I can get vitamin B12 without having to eat animals, and went down that road. So it's education, and it takes, to be honest with you, each one person stepping up to the plate and understanding that there might be risks, but what are the risks? The risks are out. I think the benefits are outweighing the negatives.
Thank you
Thank
for
you. It
answering
totally.
that.
I'm sorry, Lisa.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was just gonna say thank you. Yeah, it goes back again. I think it just like you said, the demand, it goes back to our duty to do that. It's our duty to the planet at this point. So I honestly would like to see we can talk more offline and see if we can get 68 mics down there and possibly get them some training. I don't know if that's something you can coordinate where if I can get them down there, they can get trained and show that we can do this elsewhere, especially in the state of California. I think I think we're with the drought and everything here, and as eco minded, I don't see any reason why we couldn't pursue that. So again, thank you.
Hey, no problem. And look, we can talk offline, absolutely. And my command is very open to a lot of the great things that we're doing. And I would tell you this is I am more than happy than to explain to them that someone wants to come in our AO and understand our tactics and techniques and procedures, TTPs, and look at our SOPs and learn even more. And we can only start with asking. And hey, if they deny us, then we'll ask a different way. So, hey, Justine, come on over this way. Absolutely. We can't hurt but ask. So, outstanding.
Well, I am very excited to hear this type of networking going on. That's what these meetings are all about, is being able to share with one another and also to start something up. You guys are creating it right in the moment, some way of expanding the vegan footprint in the military. And I'm so thrilled to hear all of this.
Sure.
We did have another question. This one's just curious about anything related to organics. Do you encourage organics in the dining hall, the vegan dining hall, the one that has vegan options?
Um, Currently we don't. I mean, um, I don't think it's too far of a reach for us to ask for organics. Um, I myself personally, I love to get organic food. It's just not something that I hone in on. Like, okay, I gotta buy organic carrots. But I'm getting more focused personally on that, and I feel that it's possibly going to be in the future someone that understands the importance of organics and focuses in on that and makes it a norm as well. But currently, no, organics aren't a focus. But I would like to say the dining facility manager, his name's Sarn Delgado. This guy does no processed foods. So it's like everything he's cooking is from scratch, and it's all, we're cutting up carrots and onions and tomatoes and stuff like that to put in his food. So that's one thing that I appreciate with all of his products. But good question about the organics.
Yeah, so thank you very much for addressing these questions and for uh, sharing your story with us today. We've had this opportunity to share live with the um, Facebook world out there. And so what we're going to do now is we'll close up this portion, and then the folks who are with us on the meeting will continue our conversation and offer support for our Carnivores Anonymous online meeting. So thank you so much to Jay for joining us, and please, tell us how people can find you. How would they find you if they're on Facebook, or if they want to reach out to you, maybe a fellow military person or somebody who is curious about how you've done what you've created?
Sure. Absolutely. So, JPAT, it's JAY space PAT. That is my Facebook name. And Vegan Army. So, Vegan Army, two words, is my Facebook page and group. So they're in the same. But I answer that. I'm on it frequently, and you can message me in there, or really friend me on Facebook, and I still have some room on my account for many friends. Most of the times when I see you're vegan, I'm clicking, okay, you could be my friend. So by all means, ladies and gentlemen, I just really appreciate being able to share my story. Um, Thank you so much, Lisa, for the opportunity.
Oh, you're so welcome. And I hope people do reach out to you and maybe offer some speaking opportunities because you have such a wonderful way of expressing yourself and with a lot of love and compassion and kindness. And I do think people will want to hear a lot more from you.
So much.
So with that, we'll close out our live recording and tune into the meeting where we can get some support for 12-step support for our vegan journey. So thanks to all, and we'll see some of you, hopefully. We do this each month, and we hope that you'll join us again. A good evening.